The cost of a cruise ship vacation has gotten ridiculously expensive. Prices have undoubtedly gone up here in 2023, and it does appear that in the not so distant future, average Joes like you fine folk will never be able to cruise again. No, I'm joking. However, in the opinion of many as of late, they do believe it is kind of going that way when it comes to the cruise ship industry. However, today I do want to take a little bit of a organic but deep dive into the cruise ship industry, as it does appear that when it comes to some lines that have taken a chill approach as far as increasing prices, and others not so much, Royal Caribbean, that when you look at the prices, you have your brain almost explode. It's absolutely insane, doesn't make any sense. So we are going to take a look, and I'm also going to give you guys reasons as to why this could potentially be happening, as it does appear that this topic is indeed the talk of the town when it comes to the industry. First of all, let's look at the extreme case here. You are talking about $100,000 plus per person, mind you, to cruise on board Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, in their three-deck rather, luxurious townhouse suite. Why somebody would pay that much, I don't know. How people out there actually have that kind of money, I don't know. But if you got it, by all means spend it, because that is an argument. If people have the money, they should be able to spend it how they please. Why they would do that, personally, I'll tell you right now, I know it holds like 10 or 15 people or something like that. I love my family and friends, but not that much to be stuck in a room with them for an entire week. I'll tell you right now, if it was me, Billy Bob would get his own balcony. Jim, I don't like him. He would get an inside cabin. And my brother John, well, he wouldn't be going on the cruise. Mind you, this price here on Royal Caribbean's newest ship set to debut, soon to be the world's largest operating cruise ship, doesn't come with all the add-ons either. So by the time you add the cabanas and their private island, perfect day at Coco Cay, drinks, etc., you can imagine it's going to be a lot more. However, it does come to a savings at times at a whopping $100,000, so not bad. But in a regular case, even right now, and just keep in mind this is a new ship, I recently am booked on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. I am paying just under $7,000, it was like $6,955 to go on that ship for a week. That price has essentially doubled to, of course, before taxes and drinks and all the other add-ons, about $10,000 for two people, double occupancy. That is the standard way in which cruise lines operate. You go to Celebrity on their newest ship, the Celebrity Ascent, set to debut in December. You're talking about $10,000 a person, $20,000 cruise, and well, the list goes on and on with multiple lines. There is no doubt that at least when it comes to the newer cruise lines and that are set to debut here between 2023 and 2024, the prices have indeed gone up. I'm not just speaking from my porthole here. As many of you know, I have been out in the field all year since the very start of 2023. I've sailed with MSC multiple times. I've sailed with Virgin Voyages, NCL, Carnival, you name it. I've taken 12 cruises this year, and I have a couple more left. And I will say that from personal experience, somebody that did pay cash for all of my cruises this year except for one, prices have increased just a little bit. But that doesn't mean there aren't regular cruise prices out there for everybody to enjoy, regardless of what their budget is. If you frequent any of the Facebook groups or Reddit forums regarding the cruise ship industry, whether it's a line specifically or just the industry as a whole, you've probably been bombarded and blasted with all types of price increases, whether it be the drink package or maybe doing an activity in Royal Caribbean's Island Perfect Day at Coco Cay, so on and so forth. However, if you go to, let's say, Carnival's website now, remember they had that little shutdown when they were rebuilding it, it does appear that prices have gone up a little bit. There were some $50 cruises in there, $100 cruises in there that I originally saw that are no longer there, but prices are still reasonable and affordable for the average Joe. You go to Royal Caribbean, especially if you want to go on a short 2 or 3 day cruise like Freedom of the Seas out of Miami, it is available to you at a decent price. Nevertheless, the fact still remains, we can't deny it, prices have gone up, at least when it comes to the popular ships, the newer ships, the popular itineraries, and that is somewhat understandable as the years go by and we are entering a post-COVID era. If you guys remember, the ones that have been following me at least since the pandemic, when my channel started to get a little bit of traction, I told you guys, even though a lot of people didn't believe me, when I said the industry was going to shut down for 6 to 9 months, maybe even a year, I also let all of you know that I believe that there was going to be some type of travel boom shortly after the pandemic was actually declared over. We are now seeing that here when it comes to cruising. There's a lot of new ships that are catering to more families, catering to younger people, and I would also argue that these days there is undoubtedly a little bit of a divide, at least when it comes to the economic structure of things, at least in the United States. Most of us understand that the middle class is essentially essentially gone and done away with. However, in this digital revolution, you are seeing younger people out there that are essentially making more money. And of course, you have this divide where people are either are broke or they have no money at all, or they are just like rolling in the Benjamins and they have more money than they can throw away. So this is a situation that you're seeing right now. As far as the price increase, many people are having theories and saying that the reason that the prices are going up is because the cruise lines initially wanted to start kind of bringing people back butts in seats during the pandemic. And once everything started to actually kind of rectify itself, they had to go ahead and make up for that money that was lost for them throwing out all those deals to get more butts in seats. And now this is going to be the after effect, causing the conundrum that you're seeing now with the potential price increases. And I would say that there is some merit to that, somewhat. I do my best to try to get a seat on every single new cruise ship that is with a popular line to the best of my ability, and I do this for many reasons. Yes, of course, from a business perspective, it does create some traction when I go on the new popular ships because people are going to watch the videos. I get to get a feel, a lay of the land of all of the new innovations, and of course, if I'm able to make videos, potentially like, let's say, a cruise ship tour, people may be watching it for years to come, of course, inevitably creating some sort of passive income. However, on the other side of the business end, there is a lot of networking to be done. I'm shaking a lot of hands with the suits, marketing teams, and everybody else that's involved, maybe even on the financial end when it comes to the specific cruise line. And one thing I learned when I was on the Carnival Venezia, I met with the marketing team and the specialists that do all the sales and whatnot. They told me straight up that the reason that Carnival was able to survive and get through the pandemic so well, or at least post-pandemic, was through all the people that were spending money at the casino. They essentially gave a lot of those people near free cruises, and once they got there, people were spending tens of thousands of dollars. If you don't know, whenever it comes to a cruise, whether it's small or large, especially even the small ships, believe it or not, people are spending up to $1 million as a whole per cruise, of course bringing Carnival out of that somewhat debt bubble that they were dealing with and back into a place where they can at least be survivable until they can, well, of course, get the rest of you all to swim on in and give up your money. Let's not get all confused, by the way. This is just good business. I would say the same for Royal Caribbean. Yes, they may have rooms that are $75,000 and up for a single week, but do keep in mind, those rooms are sold. I do believe the townhouse suite is primarily sold out for almost all of 2024. So they're doing something right over there. But as far as I'm concerned, I spend a lot of money on cruises, but at this point, you guys know I don't gamble. The house always wins. However, I'm considering it, seeing as how some of my friends that do gamble, they are essentially getting on even these brand new cruise ships for free. Of course, I do say free loosely, by the way. Of course, they have to put in thousands of dollars over at the casino, but still, for a lot of people, it's really not that bad of a deal. But getting back to the topic at hand, when it comes to the cruise lines, once they get in that initial crowd, the people with the loyalty points, of course, as well as the casino points and programs that they're involved in, they are going to do their best to bring in the regular people, but that does come at a cost, meaning you guys are going to pay a little bit more to come on board, and that way there is the potential for them to kind of maybe rack up some more money and hopefully at some point eventually become profitable. Personally, I do view this situation in its entirety as a pro and a con. A con obviously because in some aspects prices are indeed increasing, and well, that's obviously not good. We don't want to spend a ton of money for our cruises. We want to spend the least amount as possible for a cruise, and of course the add-ons, the drink package and all that stuff, yada yada yada. But when it comes to the pro, I do believe this is a major indication, seeing as how people are still selling out cruise ships. They're getting butts in seats. People are buying these cruises regardless of the price. It's an indication that the cruise ship industry is growing. It is an indication that the cruise ship industry is thriving, and at some point things are going to be absolutely amazing for the cruise ship industry. You look at other lines, let's say Disney Cruise Line, the happiest cruise line on earth, they are dedicating a lot of money to building more cruise ships. You got MSC that's doing a very aggressive push over to the US market, and so on and so forth. I think all of it is good. All of it in terms of the progress that's being made with the other lines, not so much of the price increase. However, of course, guys, I will leave all of it up to you. I could ramble on about this topic all day. I do find it very interesting considering what I've seen and what a lot of you have been seeing and talking about as well in the forums and Facebook groups. But of course, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Do you think that cruising as a whole is getting too expensive? Do you think that maybe some people are theorizing that they're trying to price out the poor people, however it is that you want to look at it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. No, as usual, I love and appreciate every single one of you, and I couldn't be here without all of you guys' support, so I do appreciate that. I'll see all of you in the next one. Take it easy.